Hey everyone, I'm recording a dirty pour wood grain tumbler. I saw on the site a color changing dirty pour. This one is done a little bit different because you don't just put it over the top, it's kind of poured slowly over it. So I already mixed these up. Generally, I will have whatever amount of colors I want. In this case, I think I have 8. One of them I actually mixed 3 different colors to make a lighter. I will mix lights and darks. And in this one I'm including a fun teal. So all of them are going to kind of go together. It'll just be, I like to add more colors. You don't have to. I like doing that because I think it adds depth to it. I left one unmixed so I could show you the way to do this. I am handicapped. I'm sorry. I'm in a brace. I had shoulder surgery and I will be in this brace for like 4 more weeks, I think. But it won't stop me from doing stuff. So how you do this, you put the color that you want. I put them in usually smaller cups, but I don't have any right now and I didn't make it to the store. So I'll just rinse these out when I'm done. You put a little bit of each color. If you use less colors, you're going to need less paint of each color, or sorry, more paint of each color. I have so many colors, so I didn't use very much of certain ones. And I will include all the colors I use in case you guys want it in a list afterwards with this video. So you take some water, because this paint is too thick to pour over the top. You always prep your cup. So sand, clean, and then spray paint. And then I'm going to pour a little bit in. You'll notice each one of these has a stir stick in it. I do not put the stick in the cup until I add the water. That way I know that I've already added water to it and I don't make it too runny. So you just stir it up like this until you get the right consistency. It should pour pretty well. I'm going to add a little bit more even though that is kind of pouring. And sorry for the makeshift area. I'm actually in the living room. My 1-year-old decided not to sleep. My husband is on overnights right now. So he finally passed out in the living room, and if he wakes up and I'm not here, he will flip out. So he still sleeps in my bed, of course. Okay, so I like that run. It's pretty runny. That way it will just drip down the cup. So now I have my colors, but they're all separate. I'm going to take each one. I think I'll do the blue first, actually. You pour a little bit of each into the cup. I actually need a little bit more water in that one. I didn't like how that poured out. It's fine, but I like it a teensy bit runnier. So and then you go through and do each individual color. So I have my one little dot of blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of brown right into the middle of it. And this is really hard with only one hand. Well, I do a mix of lights and browns. I wanted this one to be a little bit darker, so I have more dark. Sometimes I want it to be lighter, so I have more light colors. I only put a little bit. Some people don't do it that way. I kind of do light, then dark, then light. Or 2 darks in this case, and then a light. And I will just be sitting here pouring this so you see what it's like. I'm gonna have to switch hands. My bad arm is starting to hurt, so I can't do that. Let's hold it with that. Hopefully you guys are learning all these new techniques. I know I'm learning stuff by watching them. I'm actually new to the tumbler world. I haven't been doing it very long, only since December, I guess, the beginning of December. I've crafted forever, but not done tumblers, and I am in love. Oh my goodness. Yes, I have to say I kind of have put all my other crafts on hold for a little bit, although I need to start doing them again because I put my stuff at different stores in my hometown and some of them are kind of low on stock, so I need to start doing that again. But tumbler making is really fun. You get to be so creative and add all your different techniques together, whether it's fabric, which I love, by the way, crackle, paint, stickers, so scrapbooking, just whatever. I've gotten to use many different forms. The next one I'm going to try is actually using, I like to use chalk couture, which are silkscreen stencils, so I'm going to try to put that on the tumbler. I have some fun Valentine's ones that I'm going to do. So you just keep doing this until you think you have enough paint. This is a taller tumbler, as you can see. This is a tall stemless wine glass. Actually, my first one that I've done. I usually do the regular 20 ounce, 30 ounce, and then the shorter wine glasses. But I decided to be different this time. So trying to expand. Like I said, you just keep pouring, pouring, pouring. I'm already liking how this looks. I love the blue. I haven't done a blue. I've done a pink and I've done lots of regulars, but I have not done blue. So I thought that would be fun. I've done other ones that look like this that are just all colors, which I like too, but this is still going to have the wood grain look. It will just have blue incorporated into it. So you want to make sure you have enough paint to cover it without having to go back over it, because the more you go over it, it will cover up your previous work. As you'll see in a minute, when you do this anyway, there's kind of a spot where it gathers at the top. I'm going to show you that as soon as I pour this on. And you'll have to get it off the top anyway so that it dries. Other than doing all these browns, sometimes I do them in complete absolute order. This time I'm really not. I'm just pouring them in. I always do the blue the same spot, but all the other ones I've kind of just been doing. If you're wondering, and if your OCD is going crazy. It doesn't really matter. It's all together anyway. You're not going to notice which one came first or whatnot. This is probably going to be my last time around. Hopefully this is enough. I kind of ran out of blue, or almost ran out of blue. It should be. If it's not, you have to get creative, because you really don't want to just make more and pour over the top. It's not the same effect. I've made lots of these that just look like wood grain tumblers. Guys tend to like these because they look really cool. You can do an alcohol ink wood grain, which I love too. I just discovered that I could do those. I thought it would be harder, and I was kind of scared of doing it, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. Although I haven't done the whole fancy ones like everybody does. Just very simple. And I'm figuring it out. So, okay. Now, this is what it looks like. Kind of all those colors in there. What you're gonna do, you take it, this is left-handed because I'm hurt. Usually it's my right hand, but, oh yes, and I have a metal tray here. I just get it from the dollar store. It's very flat. And I put a piece of wood because all the extra paint goes to the bottom. So when I'm working with the wood, I'll show you what I do. Just to not waste as much, you kind of make another picture. And like I said, since I sell other things besides just tumblers, I like to do things like this. So you take it, and I just start pouring it. Just a little bit, and I kind of go in a circle. I kind of shake my cup in a circle. You kind of work on the edges because you want to get it. The reason why I do the circle is so it gives like the wood grain effect. So you kind of just keep doing it. Make sure all the edges are covered. And then you kind of let it, as it's dripping, you'll notice spots where it's not dripping on. So you kind of go over that spot. And then I just pause. Oh, there's a really big one. Okay. See, I can... Those swirls kind of make your little swirly like eyes and things like that in the wood grain. Okay. Most of the time, your cups are going to lean towards one side or the other. So you'll notice different spots that tend to not have as much paint, and it's harder to get it to drip down. In this case, it's the side on the opposite of the camera. So I kind of just spin it towards me a little bit. You'll notice there are smaller ones. Oh, they're pretty covered. And since you have extra, if you don't like a certain area or you want it to have more blue or more dark, you can kind of go over it. But remember, the more you go over it, the design from before, it kind of slips down the cup. So let's see. This is actually pretty good coverage. Okay, I'm gonna kind of pull you closer. See that? I don't even think I'll have to go over this. I'll just wait for it. Okay, see how it's pulling at the top? Oops, I almost dropped my phone. Sorry. See how it's kind of pulling at the top? You're going to have to try to make sure that comes off. So I have to decide. This one is covered it's actually all the way covered all the way around. So I like this tumbler. But I am going to notice that this side, oops, that's a box. This side is kind of beige. And there's some blue. Don't mind my messiness. There's a blue on top. So I'm gonna kind of put you back over here. And I'm going to tilt the cup towards me a little, just a little bit, just to get that blue to slip down a teensy bit. Although those eyes are really cool. We're just gonna do that. Like I said, just a little bit. I kind of like, yeah, those are cool. And then as you're doing this, stuff will just keep dripping down until it's done. You'll have to, so it doesn't dry with all the drips, you'll have to kind of go like this. And then it will keep dripping, but that's okay. Now my hand is already dirty. So, you will notice, see, I have a board there. What I will do, I'm not going to mess with it yet because this is still too wet, the cup is. And I don't have two hands, so I can't move it. But I will eventually move this, and I will just move the paint around on the board so that it covers the board. That way I have a little canvas that I can work with and do something different with. So thank you so much for your time. Hope this helps.